My name is Jay Martinez. I'm from York, Pennsylvania, and I dedicated to this automotive industry that we call car shows. Well, high school, around 2000, 1999, 2000. Basically, around that time, it was the automotive industry was very young, but still growing. And I got with some friends in school, and we started a car club together, and we started going to tons of car shows while we were in school. And then when we graduated, we started our own speed shop. The speed shop, we wanted to add a small show to the speed shop. It was called Ice Performance. And I was the one that was in charge of hosting that first car show. After we did that first car show, we decided, myself and my best friend Jeremy, we decided to do our own show, and that was TunerEvolution in 2006. That was 19 years ago, so hold on. I think the biggest challenge was the time frame. We only had like 2.5 months, and we were brand new, so we didn't really had a lot of experience, or then we have a lot of network. I would say we started the event, the name, like creating the name of the event. It was actually on my birthday. It was, I would say in November. I say by January, February is when we started marketing the event. And then we had the event at the end of April. The ones that came before me, like the car shows that started before me, the ones that I used to go to, like Hot Import Nights, Carlisle's and Performance and Style in Pennsylvania, and I would say like World of Wheels in New York, and just a lot of the old school Ocean City car show. And I'm talking pre-2004, pre. So they inspired me of how they did it, but for some reason I felt like I know I can do it, but I knew I can do it different. And that's why I did it. We care about the culture, we care about the lifestyle, we care about what people feel within the event when they're inside the event. At the same time, we do understand that it is a business inside the event where you have exhibitors, vendors that are coming to, sell products, merchandise. So our goal is to make sure that we do something different that people can come and intrigue to within our event, that they can find, and then we say, wow, I want to stay here longer. I don't want to leave. Because sometimes I feel like at a car show, you can walk 4 or 5 aisles, you'll be done in a half hour, you can go home, you've seen the whole show. Sometimes it's like that. We try to create a list of itinerary where things are happening throughout the day. People know those things are happening around that time, and people stay in the house when it comes to having a massive amount of people within the show, which is great. And that benefits everybody. It's just a vibe. Fun. It's very fun. So I'll give you just a little bit of an idea. So basically what we have is our website. What we call it is the dashboard. The dashboard where all the car guys come in. They register their car with all their information. They enter 4 or 5 images to their vehicle when it comes to the best images for the vehicle. They give us their modification list. They even give us their Instagram, stuff like that. So it comes into our portal where I observe every single vehicle that comes in. When they come in, I check out if their wheels are fake, if they got fake parts, or if they have real authentic parts or quality parts. Sometimes a lot of people don't have a lot of parts within the vehicle, but as long as it looks good and it's fresh and it's showable, then we select the vehicles. When we do that, we select them, they get a notification that they got their email that they were accepted. But you can't just come to our show and expect to get in without having pre-screened. You have to be pre-screened at all of our events. And we do about 10 events a year, so you do, let's say average 250 to 350 cars per show. Do the math. Yeah. That's how many cars I screen a year. Yeah. I do about 8 to 12 events a year. Yeah, like Puerto Rico. Like not the same size, some are smaller, some are the same size, some are maybe even bigger. But Yeah, it's about 250 to 300, sometimes 450 cars. Philly, SoCal, 450 cars indoors. That's how Puerto Rico's 400, 450 cars indoors. That's that's a great question. That's been my formula. My formula of trying to intrigue people to understand what we're trying to do prior to the event. I'll take Puerto Rico as a good show as an example. And we do this everywhere. We do this in Chicago, California. We just did Miami the other day. We fly ourselves to those cities. We grab a couple cars that are, within the area that represents the area very well. We shoot their cars with photos, videos. We throw them on social media to support those car people in that community. So what happens is within that community, they see that we're coming in town. They know that Alex with the NSX, they know him. We shot his car. So now they're starting to see that, we're intermixing with the community in Miami or in Philly or California. So when they know the dates coming as we keep promoting those cars or our flyers, that's how they tend to wanting to come to the event. And that's mainly like the car guys. Then, when it comes to spectators, obviously spectators come for the cars. They come for the cars, for merchandise. They come for the entertainment and the value of the show. Because some people say, hey, I don't want to go to that show. Why? It doesn't do nothing for me. But this show right here does a lot for me. And so people tend to make that decision of what they believe in, of what they feel that is a great event. Good. There's a lot of goods, and there's I don't want to say the word bad. I think there's more or less of like refocusing. A lot of events we're all doing good. A lot of events may have to switch, refocusing on what they do, including us. We've been around for 19 years this year. Next year will be 20 years. And that is the hardest part of trying to stay trendy, to stay relative, and also keep moving forward with, the passion that we all love. But sometimes car events or even cars, sometimes it might get a little bit, I don't want to say the word boring, it's just that repetitive. So when it becomes repetitive, we got to figure out as event producers, how can we change this motive of doing the same thing over and over and creating more of a value for those spectators to come to not only my events, but to their events. Because if their events have more of a value, then that helps for my events to have more of a value, and everyone grows. As in like the biggest show, the big one.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Man, there's two of them. There's two of them, maybe three of them, but that I would say TunerEvolution, SoCal, Anaheim 2018, SoCal 2019, and Puerto Rico 2019. My very first Puerto Rico show in 2019, that was about 8,000 people in the Centro Convenciones. And SoCal, the first year was like 7,000 people for the very first year. That was probably, and that was 450 cars. That was 35, 40 vendors at each show, and big name sponsors like Toyo Tires, Hankook, stuff like that. Yep. When we all grow up, we all like are kind of like looking for what we're really about, like as personally, right? Like what we like, what we want to do in life. Some people may find that at a very young age. Some people may find that later on in life. For me, it was, I was moved around a lot when I was a kid. I went to 12, 13 different schools before 7th grade. And I didn't really have a lot of passion behind anything because I was moved around a lot. But once I got to Pennsylvania, the automotive culture in Pennsylvania at the time in 1999, 2000, and that's what really got me into cars. And What got me into cars was because of the fact that it was just something that everybody was doing. And what made me continue was when I did that very first show, like on my own, the feeling that I got from that first show, I still feel it today. Like that, and that was only 100 cars, and I still feel that today. So it's to see an event complete that you did from start to end, mission accomplished. That's my passion. It's awesome feeling. Yeah. What is the difference of the culture of Puerto Rico and versus the United States? So I want to tell you why I decided to do the show here, and then that will tell you. So when I first started TunerEvolution, one of the biggest things that I had to do, because our show was in York, Pennsylvania, very small town, not a popular city. So when it comes to cars at that time, so I used to travel a lot to New York, to Virginia, to Boston, to get to know people, to invite them to our show in New York. I'm talking about 2006, 2007. But when I would go to car shows, I would meet so many car enthusiasts that were Puerto Rican. And so when my relationship with being Dominican and Puerto Rican, I grew up in Dominican Republic for a few years, but I never really came to Puerto Rico to see the automotive culture, never seen it. I was too young. But when I used to go around all the car shows and people would tell me, yeah, I have a first generation RX-7 back at home, or I have a Suzuki Samurai back at home, it just became very like everybody has something back in Puerto Rico. But at the time, there wasn't no YouTube, there was no real outlets to see what the culture has in Puerto Rico. So when I made a decision to come to Puerto Rico in 2014, 15, we came down and I had to see it for myself. And I thought it was a specific niche of cars that I only saw was just like stance cars and maybe some old schools, and that was about it when I first came. And now looking at it, you know, it's completely different. It has probably the most diversity of vehicles that I've seen in the United States. What I mean by that is we can go to a show like at a TunerEvolution, let's say Philly. You'll see stance cars, you'll see performance cars, you'll see JDM, you'll see VIP, and you'll see Euro. Euro is very big in Pennsylvania. Here in Puerto Rico, you'll see all of that, but you're also gonna get Banshees, you're gonna get motorcycles, you're gonna get old school drag cars that look like show cars, and the variety and the attention to detail is like almost next to none when I compare it to the United States. Now the culture in the United States compared to here, like the enthusiasts themselves, I just feel like there's a little bit more passion here because they're very so limited of what they can get here. So whatever they have, they cherish that. That's different. First, I would like to say thank you to all the Puerto Rico car enthusiasts here in the island. It's been a pleasure since 2000, almost 17, 18, traveling here, starting the show in 2019. I know we went through COVID, we had to go through all that, but the past couple of years has been, you know, really awesome to see the car enthusiasts get very excited for our event. Some of them don't even go to other events until our event. That's crazy to me. I think they should go to more shows. But yeah, we're getting ready for this year. We're excited. This will be our 5th TunerEvolution Puerto Rico show overall. And this year will be happening on June 28th, 29th, 2-day event at the Centro Convenciones. We'll be coming back here in March to do a lot more promotion and marketing, so get your cars ready. And yeah, man, we're gonna have a packed house this year, and it's gonna be a different one this year, I'll tell you that.